Hello, once again, this is Seewing Yee from the Year Realistic Network. Thank you for attending. And the topic today is a high-level video pictorial view of a typical Midwest investment properties. All right, so why am I showing you this? But before I begin, uh, so as I indicated quite often, rather recently, I mean, real estate market changes, and over the years, what I learned, what we learned, is that you have to go to a different markets in every whenever things happen like this way, economically, real estate wise. So clearly, the majority of real estate investors, whether they are from our network here in uh, San Jose Bay Area or any other sources, whether they are U.S. investors from the U.S. or foreign national investors from Canada, China, UK, Israel, Australia, wherever. Uh, what I've been seeing is that, especially moving forward at this the year 2018, based on the drastic changes of the U.S. landscape, clearly the majority of savvy, sophisticated investors are pulling the trigger, if you will, in the Midwest market. All right. So yes, although there are some opportunities located in other markets, but it's few and far in between. So don't look at this picture yet. Just hear me out, okay? So now, historically, when you buy a investment, most of the traditional investments are in a U.S. Whether it's in 401k or IRAs or pure stocks or really mutual funds, right? Mutual funds. I mean, you buy mutual funds from Charles Schwab or from Fidelity, from Dreyfus, or for any of these famous mutual fund portfolio companies. If you're investing in your 401k, inside your 401k, right, you have asset class, right? You have, by the way, I used to be a financial planner before I entered real estate in 2004. So I was a licensed financial advisor. So what that means, I help people create financial plans and I recommend portfolios. Most of them, you know, as a financial planner, we're only authorized to sell stocks and bonds and mutual funds. We're not authorized to sell real estate. We cannot make any recommendation on real estate. Otherwise, our Series 7 license or financial planning license will be in jeopardy because that's how it is. So, so investors, uh, mutual fund investors or stock market investors, when you buy investment, what is your most critical criteria? You want to make money, right? Whether you put money in a bank, okay, you put money in the bank 1% or less than 1% on CDs and checkings and savings. We get that. Money markets in a typical traditional bank like 1%. Then of course, if you are at a in ages 50, 60, or 70, you have to take a conservative approach. Low risk mutual fund portfolio consists of treasury bonds, money markets, cash, and government securities, very low risk, right? And then, of course, if you are in a younger age group, in the age 30s and 40s, because your retirement horizon is down the road, you can afford to take some more risk. So on your mutual fund portfolio asset allocation, you might want to get into like a large cap or like a high tech sector, very specific, or your buy mutual fund consists of 500 companies located internationally, some kind of international companies, or you want to buy a specific industry sector uh, type of mutual fund portfolio. Anyway, so when we are all chasing return, right? Rate of return or cap rates, all these numerical jargon that we've been growing accustomed to. I get all that, right? But when you buy, your inside your mutual funds, is you're buying a fractional shares of a cross section of 3 or 400 companies. Some are Exxon stock, some are, Facebook stocks, or some are, Microsoft stocks or whatever, right? So when you look at the mutual fund prospectus, I mean, I know, very boring. Most people don't even read it before they purchase those mutual funds. Do they ever show you a picture of what your mutual fund looks like, or all the 500 companies that you're fractional shares that you're buying on your uh, portfolio, or whatever money you put into mutual funds? They're all companies, right? I mean, do you look at a picture of the companies that you're investing in on the mutual funds? Of course not. You're buying strictly for the rate of return, 7%, 5%, whatever in the stock market, right? So in real estate investing, in a way, same thing. But because real estate is a hard asset, because real estate is a physical asset, we are, historically, as a human being, you rather buy a better looking investment property than a ugly one, right? But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, are you making the money? Are you growing the wealth? Are you accumulating wealth? Are you getting the right return on your investment on your real estate properties, right? So, so in real estate, as I talk about a lot, I educate you guys. We talk about cap rates, capitalization rate. We talk about cash on cash return. We talk about ROI. I'm not gonna spend 1 hour talking about that because I have already sent you videos from time to time to explain to you how do you calculate cap rate, cash on cash return, total ROIs, rent to value ratio, da 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 da. Okay, this is not the crux of this particular presentation. So, on the other hand, yeah, we all want to buy a nice looking property. Look, okay, let me give you an analogy. Okay, if you're earning 10% return or 13% return on your real estate, in a way, do you really care what does a house looks like? Okay, yeah, most of you do care. You want, you're not a nice looking house. Maybe you some point in time you want to live there. I don't know. But look, you pay what you get for. Let me give you this analogy. Let me use a supermodel for example, right? Ever for those of you who are a little bit older, in age 40s and 50s, maybe younger, but I think 1980. Have you seen the movie 10? Yeah, the numeric 10, starring Bo Derek. Okay, she's very pretty. She run down the beach, with their braided hair. Very pretty looking Bo Derek. The name of the movie is 10, right? And the co-star is Dudley Moore. But anyway, or look, if you want to buy investment property, that's a very nice looking. If you want to buy Bo Derek, or let me give you another example. What about Christine Brinkley? Oh, she's amazing, isn't she? Age what? 63, still look like 30 years old. Chrissy Brinkley, a supermodel. Or what about Cindy Crawford? Right? What about Julie Roberts? Right? You know what I'm getting at. If you want to buy real estate where it looks good, well, it's gonna cost you, right? If you want, if you buy a Cindy Crawford or Christian Brinkley in the Bay Area, it'll cost you $3 million. Okay, so you have the money, right? Hey, those supermodels, those pretty people, they are high maintenance, right? They are very costly. So do you have right deep pocket to do all that? Most of us don't, right? At least even I don't. I can't afford those. So, otherwise, or you want to buy a girl next door type of real estate investing. Let me use another movie analogy. Have you seen An Officer and a Gentleman, where Richard Gere, 1981, An Officer and a Gentleman? If you have not, just Google the YouTube, whatever. And the female character is her name is Deborah Winger, Winger. By the way, I saw this movie many times on my TV over the years. An Officer and a Gentleman. Deborah Winger, she's not ugly, but she's not real pretty either. She is kind of the girl next door, right? I mean, she's low maintenance, right? You marry some bad girl like that, like, yeah, she'll take care of you. She'll cook for you, and take care of the house, take care of your kids, and maybe give you some additional personal pleasure. Okay. All right, let's not go there. So, when you buy a Midwest properties, which is clearly are what's happening right now, because Midwest property are, getting you the return that you want. Whereas if you want a luxury home, a beautiful home, the Bull Derek of the world, if you want to buy a 10, numeric 10, what 10 being the best looking, one being the ugliest, right? So you get what you pay for. So we all know, in order for you to cash flow properly, these days, savvy investors, turnkey investors go to the Midwest, okay? And nothing wrong with that. They ignore how the house look, or they willing to go for the girl next door, Deborah Winger, officer and gentleman, okay? Okay, I didn't mean to drag on this far, okay, but sometimes when I get going, I get going. So enjoy my verbiage, if you can, on this video. All right. So anyway, sometimes I get carried away, and I go beyond. Anyway, maybe it's not so bad. I like to communicate. I like you guys. I like to interact and relate to people. And anyway, that's why I love my job. Right? It's my business. Real Estate Network is a people business, and I love helping people and interacting and communicating with them, and get the satisfaction of helping investors create wealth for themselves and their family. I just get a tremendous personal satisfaction. I love what I do. This is my passion. I've been doing it for a very long time, since 2004. Okay, running my real estate company, the Year Real Estate Network. Okay, let's finish up. Okay, I don't want to take too long, because I know everybody's very busy. You're working hard, family obligation, whatever. So the Midwest, as I can see here, don't worry, we're almost done. Bear with me. This is a very important video. Okay, I'm trying to prove a point. All right, so. It's nothing wrong to buy, a better looking property, the Bull Derrick of the world, Cindy Crawford, the supermodel, whatever. But they're located in areas in the United States where they're very expensive and the rent is very low. And so, from a pure numerical return analysis, it's not going to go well, right? There, those locations in California, in Seattle, Denver, all these big cities, you're not going to buy a turnkey rental properties in this area. It's too expensive, and the rent is too low, and the rent to value ratio is way less than 1%. Da 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 da. Okay, all the numerics doesn't bode well. So not a good place to buy. Forget about Bo Derek. Forget about Cindy Crawford. You need to buy more of this Deborah Winger, the girl next door, Midwest investment properties. Because these Midwest properties, if you hook up with the right turnkey provider, if you use our network, we have done all most of the due diligence and what have you. You can be successful. If you can go out there on your own, hey, you can risk it. You're gonna work with a organization or provider who's not reputable. We could get scammed, right? Right? You never know. So it's important to work within a network, which what we do. So Uh, but just because a Midwest properties, are old, it doesn't mean that you should be concerned about it, right? But Midwest properties, just so the one we're promoting, number one is Buffalo, New York. That's my number one market in terms of Midwest properties. Number two is Detroit, Michigan, and number three, four, five, Cleveland, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, and a few others. Now, just so you know, all those states in Midwest, I already told you. You saw my previous videos, like like I said, upstate New York, and Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, Michigan, uh, you know uh, Tennessee. Did I say Tennessee, Missouri? Yeah, those areas are Midwest, if you will. Those homes are. I'm gonna show you. Those are more typical what I'm about to show you. So whether it doesn't matter what you buy, those homes will look like I'm about to show you. They're very cookie cutter. They're built 1920s, 1930s, 1950s. A lot of it is more than 100 years old. Does it mean that there's high risk? Well, not necessarily. Once again, if you work with a turnkey provider like we do, that are very reputable, they've been doing it for a long time, they have a great track record, they produce for out of state investors. If they do a good job rehabbing, right, they have a great rehabbing team, and they provide a put the best tenant, they have good property management, right, then your risk is substantially reduced. That's the bottom line. So in the future, whether you buy Midwest property from our network or not, uh, when you do your research, I mean, what about to show you the pictures or what it is, right? If these houses will continue to last a long time, as long as we have a decent tenant. So somebody gonna ask, oh, there'll be a lot of maintenance and issues. Not really. Your expectation is the maintenance and upkeep out of pocket, out of your pocket, in any given year after you purchase this kind of Midwest properties, like 5 to 7% perhaps, right? Not so bad. Because when these properties are rehab, they are, the roofs has been upgraded a few years back. The all the electrical system works and all the foundation works well. It's turnkey, it's rentable. That's the bottom line. All right. So again, when you do your research, whether you buy from us or buy from other organizations, out there. Uh, when you look at the picture before you make a decision to buy, they kind of cookie cutter. They're very generic. So let me give you an example of this house. It doesn't matter. This house could be 2,000 square foot, could be 1,500 square foot, could be 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath. They could be worth anywhere from $40,000 to $80,000. That's what it is. By looking at some pictures, you don't know whether they're single family home or whether they are duplex. So you have to talk to to our provider, whoever they are. They tell you exactly what it is. Very cookie cutter. I mean, outside may not look all that great, okay, but inside, this property is already rented. I mean, so is renting. People living in here. They're not complaining, right? So this is a pre-lease property. Most likely, it's been rehab. Is the tenant has been living here for a while. So the electrical system, all these are upgraded, and if is working. So some of the rehab, before and after, like I said, outside the property may not look that great, but inside, look, it's nice and clean, nice and working order. See, they done our wholesale provider, our contract team, they have done all the rehab necessary. Then to make this house rentable, they place the rent on your behalf. When you close escrow, you have a tenant. See, by the way, all these houses are subject to inspection report once you make a purchase, and right, and inspect. If the house passing the inspection report, then that's what you ask for. That's all you can hope for. This is the boiler, electrical system, all been uh, processed correctly. Typical outside of a house in the Midwest property. Doesn't matter what city. So I know whether you buy in St. Louis or Indianapolis or Cleveland, whatever. Yeah, some of the other providers, some people might say, "Oh, you're looking. These cities are doing well. They have this job, that companies, that Amazon distribution center is going there." Yeah, all these Midwest cities I just mentioned, they are growing. They're not. Are they growing as fast as California? No. Are they growing as fast as Florida? No. Or Texas? No. But these are the Midwest region of the U.S. Or these are hardworking blue collar people. You're not going to find new homes because new homes are the next level. The new builds, which is not that many in the first place anywhere in the U.S., let alone in the Midwest, you're not going to cash flow. I'm not going to send you. I'm in Buffalo, for example. I'm not going to recommend for you to buy a new construction home in Buffalo, costing 180,000, for example. But if it rents for only 1,200, you're not going to buy that because the returns are low. The rent to value ratio is extremely low. So the cookie cut home in Midwest, or around 40,000 to maybe 80,000 with respect to single family homes. But there are also duplex and even triplex in the Midwest region where you can buy for 50,000 to 60,000 and rents very well. All right. So, so I ask of you, Midwest economies, they're stable, they're not going to crash. They're not going to go through the up and down and what have you. But they're good. They can last you for a long time if you buy it from a good turnkey provider like we have here in Buffalo and Detroit and a few other places in the Midwest. So these are the cookie cutter homes. When you review the pictures, that's what you're gonna see, right? Outside may not look all that great. They're not Cindy Crawford. They're not Christian Brinkley. They're not Bo Derek. Okay, they are Deborah Winger and a few other, like your girl next door. This is your girl next door of houses. Inside, see how nice? Inside is really nice and clean. All rehab. See, very in good working condition. They're gonna last a long time. It will require maintenance from time to time, 5 to 7%, sometime more. Vacancy factor, 5% vacancy factor, 5 to 7% maintenance and upkeep. You have to pay. In the worst case scenario, changing of the carpet or painting the wall or changing the doorknob. It'll cost you a couple of $100 here and there out of pocket as an investor. So, that's average. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. That's all you need to know. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to get you informed. There's nothing wrong with buying Midwest properties. However, if some of you have this very strict criteria, I must buy a brand new house. I do not like ugly houses in the Midwest, regardless of the return of the investment. Okay, fine, fine. If I can't convince you, I can't convince you. Okay, I can only take you so far. I can't drag a horse into a well and force the horse to drink the water. Okay, okay. So you buy based on your criteria, your comfort level. Okay, we do have new builds in Central Florida, all right, in Orlando, in a few other areas. But the cash flow in those locations is not as good. But the return is not as high as the Midwest. So Midwest, we may get a little bit of appreciation. Who knows, right? No one knows. But the returns are very high. Cash flow is extremely high. You can buy, especially in Buffalo, a $50,000 property. He rents for, $900, right? I mean, 1.5% rent to value ratio, like 13% cap rate, da 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 da. But in other Midwest markets, like in Memphis or whatever, Cleveland, Indianapolis, you buy a $50,000 property, you might get a rent for 600, 650, which is still pretty decent, right? It's higher than 1% rent to value ratio, better than everywhere else in the market in the US, actually. Okay, so that's all I have to say. I think I have taken longer than normal. So I felt this presentation is important. I feel that I want you to meet your expectation. I know when you analyze our Midwest markets through our network, I just want to let you know. But when you do your due diligence, that's all you do. That's how I'm showing you how to do diligence. You have a cookie cutter, old homes, properly rehab, minimal maintenance and upkeep, decent tenant, long-term tenant, great property management, great rehab team, a one-stop shop. That's what we do. That's the value we provide for you. We've done most of the work. It's all we bring you the platter. We bring you the plate. All you gotta do is say yes. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. I gotta go. Thank you so much. Hope this helped. And if you want to take the next step, always I encourage you to contact me, and we'll do a free strategy session to help you. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. This is Seewing Yee. Goodbye.